Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a man charged with the murder of his grandma is now facing an indictment. And people continue Hurricane Helene relief efforts as struggling victims search for signs of hope near the holidays.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning and thanks for joining us. I'm Madison Carmouche. We are at 6:30 this Friday morning and today is December 6th. Let's check in with meteorologist Megan Dusmall for a look at your forecast this morning. Megan, we have been talking about how we're packing on the coats, the gloves, the hats all week long. Maybe we can get a rest from at least one of those items.
Yes, we will. But unfortunately, that day is not today. But as you're going into your weekend, yes, we will be getting warmer. So that is some great news, especially since I am so done with this cold weather and I'm ready to see some warmer weather. But let's take a look at those current temperatures this morning as it is quite cold. I mean, we're talking about packing it on. You're gonna need everything, all of the works this morning, that coat, those gloves, a jacket, whatever you need to stay warm because those temperatures are in the low to upper teens depending on where you're located at. But we do have some wind, which is making these temperatures feel even colder, with some places in those feels like in the single digits. So it's going to be cold this morning, and we're not going to see much relief for this afternoon as we're only going to be in the mid to low 30s. But again, if you don't like these temperatures, it will be warming up as you are heading into your weekend and starting off your next work week. But let's take a look at the satellite and radar as we're watching the rest of the clouds move on through our area. And after that, it will be nice and sunny for today and tomorrow. And as you're looking at Friday's forecast, well, there is that temperature trend with the sun staying with us pretty much all day long. Madison.
All right, Megan, thank you. A man accused of killing his mother has been indicted by a grand jury. Alex Uhas was charged with the murder of Paulette Mullins in October. He was also charged with terroristic threatening and assault. Pike County Commonwealth's attorney Bill Sloan says the indictment came after police testimony.
Individuals or citizens have a constitutional right for a case to be presented to a grand jury before a felony can be charged.
Uhas is being held at the Pike County Detention Center, and arraignment in Pike County Circuit Court has not yet been scheduled. In Laurel County, a man has been charged with attempted murder. On Tuesday, police say 40-year-old Tim Robinson is suspected of going to another person's home and shooting them in the face, causing serious injury. Robinson left the scene, but police later found him off Branch Road East, leading to his arrest. He was taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center. In Lincoln County, officials are investigating a fire which left one woman dead. Crews responded to the incident at Redmond Mobile Home Park on US 27 early this morning. During the investigation, a woman was found dead inside of a camper. They say another person was able to escape without injury. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Some people in several southern Kentucky neighborhoods say acts of vandalism and theft are happening late at night and early in the morning. Deputies are now investigating as some of these crimes are being caused by porch pirates. Surveillance video captured at least 3 people roaming through a Laurel subdivision earlier this week. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more on what happened and why people are on edge.
Dressed in black, his face covered, a person is seen running up a porch only to turn and go the other way. The homeowner says it appears he changed his mind after seeing the Ring doorbell camera.
I've had some friends that messaged me on Facebook and talked to me about some thefts that were occurring from mailboxes and front porches.
Deputies believe the 3 or so people seen in this video are likely the same ones that stole packages from porches or mailboxes.
High-end items, computers, cell phones being shipped to individuals, a lot of high-end items.
Deputies say there's likely multiple victims, but people who live in the area also say some decorations were smashed in the road and some boxes and packages left behind after rummage through.
I highly encourage individuals to remove those packages as soon as possible from their front porch, or remove the mail from your mailbox as soon as possible, because you know about what time the mailman's going to run past your house.
Stealing from a front porch is also now just as much of a serious crime as taking mail from a mailbox. Deputies say if it happened to you, call them.
I think a lot of people think that, what's the use in reporting it? They're not going to be able to do anything with it. Well, we encourage people to report it to us because we can't know that it's going on and we can't take care of it if it's not reported to us.
Sheriff's Office is looking into at least 6 cases as of now. In Laurel County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Kentucky lawmakers passed a law a few years ago making stealing from a porch a felony offense. A Floyd County man is facing charges after he was found tangled in plastic wrap. Wednesday, police received a call from a woman at a home in Grethel who says she thought her son was trying to break into her home. After investigating the case, police found Darvin Shepard, who had been wrapped in plastic. Police later found what was suspected to be meth in Shepard's coat pocket. Shepard was charged with burglary and possession of a controlled substance. Addiction Recovery Care is closing more facilities. A spokesperson with ARC says they have temporarily closed at least 2 facilities, the Creekside facility in Knott County and Hazel Hills in Bath County. The spokesperson says they continue to face significant challenges due to reduction in state and payer reimbursement rates for addiction treatment and mental health services. The city of Somerset received a grant to improve the community's most in-demand transportation. Walking. More than $1 million will go towards building a sidewalk on US 27. There will be more than 3,000 feet of sidewalk. The sidewalk will begin at the intersection of US 27 and Realty Lane and continue to the intersection of US 27 and Washington Drive. Construction is expected to begin in 2025. The Prestonsburg community is rallying together to get needed items to those impacted by Hurricane Helene. A new partnership in the Star City is asking folks to bring toys, clothing, and more to City Hall to help provide warmth and a little Christmas cheer to people in North Carolina who are still working to get their lives back on track. The drive, an idea brought to the table by community advocate Paula Goebel, is about providing for families against the winter weather and giving gifts ahead of Christmas. But a mission to provide meals next is on Goebel's agenda.
And just some staples for their tent or wherever. But we'll find out more as we get there and whatever else they need, and we'll make another trip. It won't be the last. We'll go back.
In the meantime, new unopened toys, baby items, and winter wear can be dropped off at City Hall in Prestonsburg or at the fire department. The temperatures outside are getting too cold to bear, but there are many people forced to contend with the frigid temperatures, including construction workers and firefighters. One construction worker says it is important to wear more than one layer and to have heaters. Jeremy Cooper with the Lexington Fire Department says while keeping yourself warm is important, your equipment also needs to work and not freeze up.
Anything that has a thread on it, we'll apply antifreeze to. We'll disconnect our hoses, drain the pumps. Basically what we're trying to prevent is any standing water freezing.
While working out in the cold can make work a more tedious process, some construction workers say they would rather work out in the cold rather than in the summer heat. This week, we reported on the death of former state lawmaker Albert Robinson. He was 85 and served many years in both the state's House and Senate. Here is part of a statement from Senate President Robert Stivers about Robinson's death. Quote, Albert's unwavering commitment to his Christian faith and conservative principles was evident to all who knew him and worked with him. Beyond his legislative and professional accomplishments, which were plentiful, Albert was a friend to many of us. His passion for his faith, family, and community will not be forgotten. End quote. We now know the funeral arrangements for former Exile band member and Hazard native Bernie Faulkner. Visitation for Faulkner will be on Monday from 10 a.m. until noon at Davidson Baptist Church. The funeral will take place at noon. A private burial will follow in Chavies. Faulkner was 77.
In terms of fog this morning, we aren't expecting much. There is some that could be migrating into the western Virginia counties, but as of right now, that humidity is quite low, so there isn't going to be much chance for the fog today. Now, we aren't going to have high wind either, especially compared to yesterday. We're really looking at nice and calm winds. Some places have a little bit faster winds than others. WYMT is at 6 miles per hour, so there feels like it is a little bit colder this morning. But in terms of the satellite and radar, no rain, no snow. That won't be in the story for today, but we do have some clouds that are moving out of the area this morning, leaving for a nice and sunny day for the rest of your Friday and into your Saturday. But if you're heading to the bus stop this morning, it is a cold one. Make sure that the kids are bundled up. 19 degrees as you're heading to school, but by the time you're heading home, it'll be a little bit warmer, but still quite cold. We'll be seeing the mid-30s and sunny skies. Stay with us. More news and weather is on the way.